So apologies if this video is a little bit crunchy. I was watching my last video and the sound came out a little bit more rigid than I would have hoped. So hopefully it sounds better. I don't know. We'll see. I guess this channel is mostly going to be for me just like going on little rants. I just want to put this video out there because this is something that I wish that I would have seen like 6-ish months ago, a year ago. And that's about like media slumps. I had this phase where I didn't really want to watch any media. I didn't want to watch any movies. I didn't want to watch any anime. I didn't want to read any books. I didn't really want to like consume much media. And it wasn't that I didn't want to. I just like was kind of bored. And I had never really seen anyone in this situation before. So I was really just like kind of awestruck. I was like, oh, is it the depression? Maybe. But I still really wanted to watch something. I just felt really bored by it. And so I was like, okay, what's going on here? And as someone who spends all of their free time consuming media and watching anime and movies or like playing video games, some people might say, oh, you know what? Why don't you just like stop doing those things while you go outside and go touch grass? And to that I say, absolutely not. I will stay inside and I will consume my media and I will keep playing video games until the day I die. It's not even just that. I don't want to go outside and go touch grass and join a club. I don't want to make friends. Sometimes we don't have the money. We don't have the energy to actually like go out and go do things. So, you know, I'm going to stay inside and I'm going to enjoy media. So I was thinking about like why I was feeling this way. And I spent those couple months watching things and being like, oh, you know, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it. Like I'm not actually like in the moment being present and actually like taking in what I'm watching. I'm just kind of like seeing it, with how corny that sounds, within those few months that are like, why am I feeling like this? And I think it all comes down to motivation. So I found 5 things that I think got me motivated again, specifically media related. Now, I hope that this can extend past just like media. You're in like any kind of slump. I hope that this will help in some way. You know, if you're an artist or if you draw, if you write, if you do any of those things, maybe this will just help with slumps in general. Adjust this to how you think that it would fit your lifestyle or whatever you're looking for, whatever your needs are. But the first one that I found that really, really helped me was that it's not a numbers game. So I found myself really demotivated when I started using my anime list more and more. I think this is an issue for a lot of people who use social media like this. So let's say Letterboxd, my anime list, Goodreads, which I have all of those things. It becomes kind of a numbers game. You add all of these movies, anime, books to be read, to be watched, and you want to get through them as quickly as possible, especially if you follow your friends or your family. Maybe you like follow a bunch of influencers or like famous people that, you know, like post media shit, whatever. But you want to like keep up with them or watch what they're watching or read what they're reading. And it comes to a point where you're just reading or watching for the sake of catching up or like for the sake of hitting a number. Like, why do you need to hit book number 300 in order for you to feel good? And I think that's the thing I was struggling with the most, is that it really became a numbers game. I surpassed like 400 watched anime or so, and I still had some more that I really, really wanted to get through. So after a couple months of being in the slump, I sat back and I was like, okay, am I actually enjoying it? And it's like, I would watch something and I'm like, yeah, on paper, I really like how this sounds or really like how the anime is going or like what they're doing. But I'm like trying to watch it as fast as possible that I don't really know what's going on. Like I don't remember anything. I would watch like multiple episodes in one day and I'd be like, I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened. Like I have no idea what the arc was or what the story was. I couldn't tell you a single character's name. So that's probably my first tip. Doing media or doing whatever it is that you're doing for the fun of it. We have to remember that we're doing things, we're participating, we're making art, we're writing because we enjoy it. And I feel like a lot of people forget that. And I definitely forgot that. I watch anime, I watch horror movies, I play video games because it's fun. And I think at a certain point after you do it so much, it's not fun anymore. You're doing it because you're so used to it and it's just part of your 5 to 9 that it's not enjoyable anymore. And so I think we need to reconsider sometimes when we fall into slumps, like why we're doing this and why we fell in love with it or why we enjoy it in the first place. So tip number 2 that I found was I needed to start spacing things out more. So kind of like I was just talking about, I started to binge watch a lot of things, which is fine. Like, you can still binge watch things, and I binge watch things all the time. But if you're binge watching to meet those numbers, or if you're binge watching just to like get through something, don't do it. Maybe watch an episode or two per night. That's what I started doing. Oh my God. I actually remember things that happen in a movie or like in anime episodes or in my books now, rather than like binging it, unless you're like really, really into it. Like, I just binge listened to an entire book the other day. It was like 320 pages, but it was on an audiobook. And I do remember everything about that because I loved it so much. Like, that's fine. But if you're binge watching everything, maybe you should reconsider and take like a few days, maybe a few weeks or so, and split it up in little chunks. Even if it's really, really short, you might enjoy it more if you break it up into chunks. So that's another thing that I highly recommend. If you're just trying to get on to the next episode or the next series, slow down. The third tip that I have is asking other people for suggestions. Maybe it's because you don't have anything really to like look forward to, or you're just kind of watching them for the sake of watching them. If you ask other people for suggestions, you come at the show, the movie, the video game, whatever, from a different vantage. So you can go at it being like, oh, hey, if I watch this, I'm watching it to understand someone a little bit more. Like, maybe you want to talk to your friends about it, or like your partner really, really loves this movie, so you watch it. And I think that makes us enjoy it and get into it a little bit easier and a little bit better, is because we have this extrinsic motivation to actually consume it and understand it. So that's something else I want to do. If you're just kind of like going off of your TBR to watch list or whatever, maybe take a short break from it and like ask your partner, ask your friend, ask a family member, hey, what anime do you recommend? Or video games are like kind of boring right now. What have you been playing? Or what did you play recently that you really, really like? Maybe it'll even push you outside of your comfort zone. You'll find something new that you want to consume more of. Speaking of something new, maybe try a different genre, especially a subgenre. That's something that I've been doing a lot more recently, is trying new subgenres. So as a person who really loves horror, I have been thinking to myself, well, I really love horror, but it's becoming so the same when it comes to especially books. I've been diving more into like romance horror or comedy horror. I think that it's really fun to put yourself out there and to try something new. If something is becoming stale, if it's becoming a little bit boring, maybe you should not stray too far, because you don't want to, step too far outside of your comfort zone, but you want to make things a little bit fresh and fun. Try different subgenres. If you really like action, maybe you'll try an action comedy. If you really like romance, maybe you'll branch out and you'll do a horror romance or something. If you really like shonen anime, maybe you'll branch out into a different kind of action. I don't know. I even noticed that years ago, there were anime that I've completely written off. Like, I was never into sports. I never wanted to touch a sports anime. I was like, that's not for me. I'm so good. I'm not a sporty kind of girl. I don't care about sports. I don't know anything about sports, so I'm not going to touch it. Maybe about a year or so ago, during that slump, I started to branch out and I started to watch some sports anime. I gave Free a chance and I gave Haikyuu a chance. And let me just say, some of the best anime that I've ever seen. And now I fully regret that. I really love sports anime now. I'm not even going to lie about that. And ever since watching those, I branched out and I started watching Kuroko's Basket and Blue Lock. So yeah, give yourself a little bit of grace and maybe try something, even if you had written it off in the past. Try giving it another chance, because who knows, you may love it now, especially me. I wrote those off 10-ish years ago, 9 years ago. And you know what? I love it now. So maybe you should give it another chance. So the fifth thing that really, really helped me during my media slump was I started to make it social. So I think this can probably apply to other things too, like writing, art, any of those as well. But when it came to me for anime, movies, anything like that, I started to watch them more with other people again. I started to be really isolated when I was consuming media, and I don't really know why. I think it was just because it's what I do in my free time, in my downtime when I want to relax. I just like pop on a movie or I watch anime. But there's a reason that I think like book clubs are so popular, is because we want to do things with other people. So if you find yourself in a slump of just like any kind, start to make it social. Maybe bring a friend, or I started dragging my partner along to things and being like, hey, you're going to watch this movie with me. Sorry about it, but I really, really want to watch it and I want to experience it with you. And I think that you should do the same thing. You can start bringing your friends and your family to the movies, start inviting them over, have like a little popcorn night and just like watch a movie, watch a whole anime together. One thing that I really like is every week we watch whatever is currently airing. So there's like Thursday nights, we like really sit down and we're gonna watch Apothecary Diaries, and it's like the best night of the week. So there's always something to look forward to, and there's something to talk about after. You get to connect with your friends, and you get to just like learn more about each other, but you still get to experience the media that you want to consume. But it's even more fun now since you're doing it with other people. So I think that we can learn a lot more about media too when we talk to other people about it. Maybe you'll learn a different perspective about what you just watched, or maybe you'll learn more. Maybe they have some insight about it that you didn't know before. So I highly recommend consuming stuff with people, talking with them about it if you feel a little bit like you haven't really felt excited to watch things or to read things. Now, that's kind of all I really have to say on the topic. I don't really think that anyone's going to care about this. It's just a video that I wish that I had. Have you ever found yourself in a slump? If you have, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye.